Good news, everyone. And I don't just say that because as I get older, I feel more and more like Professor Farnsworth. No, it's actually good news from around the world in terms of solar, in terms of batteries, in terms of all kinds of things, including electric trucking. Let's get into it. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Randy Kirk is here. I've got him hidden in the corner. I did that because he knows what he did. It was a little time out as I started the show, but I think he's learned his lesson. Have you learned your lesson, Randy?
I have learned something. I'm not sure what.
I've learned a lot of lessons. I don't know what this one is, though. Fine, I'll allow it this time. Hey, do you know Tesla to power Shanghai Megafactory with 6 megawatts of solar and 8 megawatt hours of megapacks on site?
That's really fantastic. I guess it shouldn't confuse me, but it does confuse me. I don't really understand why there isn't solar power on every single Tesla building. I don't understand why there's not megapacks at every. I don't understand why there's not solar power powering every single mega charger. I don't understand why there's not megapacks at every single mega charger.
We'll slow down because I've got answers for most of those. And
You
if you
do?
give me too many, I'm going to forget.
I see.
Almost every Tesla factory is already equipped with as much solar as it can handle. Fremont has solar and they have no more room to add more. Berlin has solar, no more room to add more. Nevada could have some more, but they have quite a bit. Texas has some, but they've resisted going the rest of the way because they have to keep cutting holes. When you're cutting holes, it's not a good time. The expanded factory in so both the Shanghai factory, the first half and the second half, are both covered in solar. The first one has thermal solar rather than photovoltaic, where it's like tubes that you run water through, I guess. I'm not sure how that works, or air. I don't recall, but it is thermal. So they do this. The reason you don't see it as much on the locations, on the charging locations, is generally speaking, Tesla doesn't own those. That's not their property. And getting permits for all those different places, I mean, take your city and the city next to it. Are the permit requirements the same?
Probably not. No.
I would assume not because there's always some kind of nonsense. So it would be a big task for a limited return on property that isn't yours, and you may not even be able to get the permission to do it. So that's why they're doing that. As far as the megapacks goes, we've seen them put them in Texas. I don't know if any of the other locations have them yet. So that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know on that. So anyway, yeah, the Megafactory Shanghai is getting it. They're going to have a
Cool.
bunch of stuff there. Would you like some more good news, or are we
Sure.
burnt out already?
No, no,
Really?
no. I do good news. I do good news every night at roughly 5 o'clock. So, that's my show's. The show's name is Good News. So,
Oh, well, shows you what I'm doing at 5 o'clock, which is not that. I apologize. We were surprised. Electric trucks ready to overtake diesel on lifetime costs. We're already there. New research from the University of Exeter, UK, has found that electric trucks can overtake diesel much sooner than expected. In some regions and vehicle categories, such as heavy duty and medium duty trucks in China and vans in India and China, electric vehicles are already cheaper over the lifetime than diesel. In other regions, cost parity is expected within the next 8 years. Oof. Thoughts on that?
I'm confused. I guess they're just not making these things as inexpensively and as efficiently as Tesla. The Tesla the Tesla semi truck, I believe, will not only be less expensive within the lifetime. I believe we're talking about $100,000 a year, maybe 80,000. It's been a long time since I've done the numbers, but when you compare the cost of diesel to the cost of electricity, and you subtract that, because the truck, Elon has talked about having it be competitive. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope he's not going to sell these things for 175,000 a piece. But even if you sold it for 250, I think it would pay for the electricity and still be in the green within the first year.
So I Don't know the price. We don't know the price. We saw original pricing in the 150 to 200 range. We know that's not going to happen and it doesn't need to happen. But the real big issue with Tesla Semi is it's not available. You just can't buy it. Unless your name is Pepsi and you happen to be in Modesto, you're not getting one. So that's tricky. Um, I know the Mack truck that is outfitted for garbage collection is a $500,000 truck. That's going to take some time to get your money back. That's difficult, I would argue. More good news. More good news. Batteries are outlasting the cars. Does that surprise you?
No.
No, no, it doesn't. Here you can see a stack of batteries under this table in this bench. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Ah,
Here we've
yeah.
got it. Yes, let's start at the top. EV batteries are outlasting the cars, and here is that picture. So yeah, there. We've seen this for years. If you talk to any of the shops that will convert your classic antique road car into an EV, this is what they do: is they buy wrecked cars and pull the battery out,
Hmm.
give it a second life.
Hmm.
Um, and we knew that was the case. For years, people said, there's just no recycling. These are going into landfills. Okay, so first of all, they're not going into landfills. They are way too valuable for that. If there's no gold recycler in your town, do you chuck your gold in the trash? Of course not. That's insane. But they didn't have the ability to build recyclers at scale because nobody was recycling them. The old leaf batteries are used in Japan to create backup power in case of a tsunami.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, thoughts on that? Does it surprise you that batteries are lasting, are outliving the cars?
No, I think we've heard about the million-mile batteries. We know that Tesla now, I think, is guaranteeing theirs up to, I think they just increased it. Gosh, I'm going to forget the number right now, but they were at 150,000, I think, and I think they increased it, didn't they?
I don't think so. I
Oh,
think the new Model 3 has a warranty of 125,000.
maybe it was 125 to 150. Maybe that's where I'm getting confused.
Hmm.
Anyway, we can let us know in the comments below. I thought I saw that headline the other day. In any case, we've heard, the reality is I think that we've had many batteries now that have are people reporting on their batteries at 400,000 miles, 500,000 miles, and almost, I mean, with limited degradation, like on the order of 20% degradation.
So Alex at Wattworks in Portland has a Tesla Model S with 475,000 miles on it. And people say, yeah, but how many batteries? Because he just posted this week, he's putting a new battery in it. Not a
Hmm?
new battery, a different battery.
Different battery.
And his answer is the battery was replaced once under warranty at 250,000 miles. The previous owner had a 8-year unlimited mile warranty and drove it as a professional driver all day, every day. And at 250,000 miles, got a new battery. Now, not everyone, uh, very few people have ever owned a car that went more than 250,000 miles. Um, so, and now he's putting a third battery in it. Yeah, but this time he got a 100 kilowatt hour battery. He's upgrading to have more range, more power, all that. This is not a repair. This is an upgrade. So, but if we're going to talk batteries, who knows, man? Maybe we should talk about this craziness. We've got this. GM is bringing LFP production to America. Report. LG Energy Solutions and Samsung are reportedly working to bring LFP battery production stateside. Now, I had a chance to ask Quincy and Sith from Electric Era because they build batteries for every charging location that they put chargers in. And I asked them, is anybody getting serious about building LFPs in the US? And they told me, I can't tell you. Yes, but I can't tell you anything more than that, which is, I mean, great that I know people,
Right.
terrible that they won't give me a scoop and
But
just
they did go yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there are companies working on it. And what we see here is that we've got these could be the first LFP plants, potentially beating Ford's CATL backed LFP factory in Michigan. So it is underway. We know Samsung, LG, and CATL and Tesla are all working on getting LFPs made in the US. Will will GM survive with their factory in Mexico unable to sell cars into the US? That's
Another
well,
story.
they are retreating. The US car makers are retreating from EVs because, as everyone knows, EVs are dead, except they're not. And globally, all this means is that we would cede our position as a exporter of automobiles, uh, and GM would no longer be as much of a global brand as just kind of a Midwest brand. You know, don't even go to the coasts. Who needs they got salt water there.
Well, maybe GM and Ford will not only need to be buying some of the parts from Tesla that Tesla obviously is able to make in the US competitively, maybe they'll also have to buy a few Optimus robots in order to be able to compete in the United States.
Rebadge, baby. Rebadge. Just slap a Ford badge on it, call it a Ford, and
Away you go.
pretend it's pretend it's a Ford. Oh my gosh, you guys, so crazy. What are we even doing here? Next week, I'm going to be on my road trip, you guys. So if you are in uh, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, mm, Colorado, and then kind of east of there, I don't know if I'm stopping in Des Moines or Omaha or Chicago. I'm probably stopping in Chicago. Let me know. Maybe we should have a visit. Randy will not be there, so uh, he will not be joining me at any of those meetups. That would be hilarious if you and I went on tour.
Oh my
That would
goodness.
be that would
Oh,
be so wild. Because if they think you might be the guy when we're together, you're definitely the guy from the thing. So anyway, guys in the comments, yeah, aren't you that guy from that thing? I think you are. So, guys in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What is the name of Randy and my buddy comedy that's definitely coming to theaters this summer? And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots. Maybe when you support the mission. Yeah, who knows? Who knows?